Have you ever felt alone and afraid in the dark? Imagine a small orphan girl named Anna, who found herself in just such a situation. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the shadows of a dense forest grew taller, darker, and more intimidating. Night was falling fast, and with it, the comforting light of day faded into the chilling embrace of darkness. Anna, sitting on a moss-covered rock, clutched a tattered blanket to her chest. Her eyes, wide with fear, darted through the thick underbrush and towering trees that seemed to lean in closer with every passing moment. The whispering wind through the leaves sounded like distant murmurs, adding to the eerie atmosphere of the forest. Alone and abandoned, she felt the weight of the dark forest press around her, as if it were trying to swallow her whole. But as the darkness deepened, something extraordinary began to happen. Imagine being surrounded by darkness, and suddenly, a soft, radiant light begins to shine. In the heart of a dense, shadowy forest, young Anna sat alone, engulfed in the enveloping night. As fear began to tighten its grip, a glow appeared, faint at first, but growing steadily in strength and warmth. This light, unlike any torch or firefly's flicker, seemed to pulse with life itself. It wrapped around Anna, the warmth peeling away the layers of her fear, each ray a whisper of comfort. The light grew brighter, its brilliance casting long shadows behind the trees and washing over Anna with a golden hue. As it enveloped her, the forest's menacing whispers turned to a chorus of soothing tones. With every passing moment, the light intensified, wrapping Anna in a cocoon of radiance that felt as protective as it was mysterious. It was a profound, enveloping presence, a beacon in the darkness that whispered of safety and peace. In that moment, Anna knew she was not alone. A gentle voice calls out in the forest, echoing softly. "Anna," it whispers, a sound so tender and filled with warmth that the very air seems to hold its breath. Startled, Anna lifts her head, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and wonder. As the light intensifies, a figure steps forth, radiant and serene, the embodiment of peace itself. It is Jesus, cloaked in a brilliance that defies the shadows of the forest. His approach is gentle, and with each step, the light around him brightens, casting a heavenly glow that touches every dark corner. Anna's eyes fix on his, finding in them an infinite love and compassion that feels as old as time itself. "Do not be afraid, Anna," Jesus says, kneeling beside her. His voice is a soothing balm, scattering her fears like leaves in a breeze. He extends his hand, and she tentatively places her small, trembling hand in his. The presence of Jesus transformed her fear into a profound sense of belonging. "Do not be afraid, Anna," said Jesus. "I am with you." In the stillness of the forest, as the light enveloped Anna, the essence of God's glory began to unfold. Throughout history, God's glory has often manifested as brilliant light, symbolizing his pure holiness and overwhelming majesty. This same divine light that now comforted Anna had once shone on Mount Sinai when Moses received the Ten Commandments. There, the glory of God was so intense that Moses' face radiated with light, a testament to his encounter with the divine. Similarly, the shepherds who witnessed the birth of Jesus were surrounded by this celestial light, heralding a message of hope and peace from the heavens. These moments in Scripture were not merely events, but were profound demonstrations of God's nearness and his active role in human affairs. Jesus, standing beside Anna, represented the ultimate manifestation of this divine glory. The Gospel of John describes it beautifully, stating, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth." Jesus' life was a living exhibition of God's glory, through his miracles, his teachings, and his sacrificial love. As Anna looked up into the compassionate eyes of Jesus, she felt the weight of this truth. Here was the divine made tangible, the sacred light that not only dispelled the darkness, but transformed it. This light was not just a physical phenomenon. but a revelation of divine presence. With a tender hand, Jesus invited Anna to walk with him. As they stepped forward, the forest transformed before their very eyes. Each footfall upon the earth seemed to stir more than just the fallen leaves. It awakened a sense of awe and splendor. The trees, once looming and ominous, now arched gracefully overhead, their branches framing the sky like the vaulted aisles of a cathedral. The light that enveloped them was more than mere illumination. It was a tangible presence, warm and inviting, turning shadows into places of beauty. As they walked, the very atmosphere seemed to shift. Where there was once a silence heavy and oppressive, now a gentle melody played, as if the forest itself was whispering its stories through the rustle of leaves and the distant calls of woodland creatures. Anna, her eyes wide with wonder, saw the world anew. Every leaf shimmered with a dewy glow. Every bird's song was a symphony, and the air itself was fresher, as if purified. The path they trod was not just a trail through the woods, but a journey through realms of understanding and faith. With each step, Anna's fear dissolved, replaced by a burgeoning hope. The darkness that had once seemed so threatening now retreated, pushed back by the light that followed them like a faithful companion. Their walk was a dialogue without words, a communion of hearts and souls. The forest, with its newly revealed beauty and majesty, seemed to bow in reverence to the light that both preceded and followed them. As they walked, the forest itself seemed to acknowledge the glory surrounding them. As they walked, Jesus shared insights and stories. He spoke of small seeds growing into large trees, and how faith, even as tiny as a mustard seed, can move mountains. With each step, Anna felt the weight of loneliness lift, replaced by a growing sense of wonder and belief. Jesus explained how trust is like a path through the forest. At times, it might seem obscured or winding, yet it always leads to a place of warmth and light. He told Anna that the presence of God in our lives is constant, like the sun that rises every morning, whether we see it or not. These simple lessons wove deeply into Anna's heart. She began to understand that her encounter in the forest wasn't just a fleeting moment of comfort, but a profound meeting meant to teach her about trust, faith, and the ever-present love of God. "You are never truly alone," Jesus reminded her, "for I am always with you." As the night turned to dawn, Anna found herself transformed. From a small, trembling child sitting alone in the shadows, to a bearer of light, walking hand in hand with the divine. Her journey through the dark woods became a powerful metaphor for the walk each of us takes through our own trials and tribulations. In the soothing presence of Jesus, Anna's fear dissolved into a profound faith. She learned that she was never truly alone. Even in the deepest solitude, there was a loving presence waiting to be acknowledged, a presence that could transform the darkest night into a radiant dawn. This tale of gentle guidance and divine companionship speaks to the ever-present glory of God around us. It reminds us that His love is not confined to ancient scriptures or celestial events, but is ever-present, illuminating our everyday lives. As Anna's story shows, it is often in our moments of greatest need that this glory becomes most apparent. In the heart of the forest or the depths of our fears, the glory of God remains a beacon of hope and peace.